What's good with it, Black Goose TV family, man? Double salute as always. It's your boy Fluence Boxing. I'm back in the building once again with some more Fluence Boxing news. And as y'all can see from boxing scene itself, this is breaking news. If y'all don't know, well, now y'all do know. I'm keeping it 110% with y'all as always. Jaron Ennis fighting Karen, co-feature for Davis Garcia pay-per-view show January 7th. Now, I know right off the bat, you're like, why didn't you say Karen's last name? Look, I'm going to be 100 with you. Right before I started filming this video, I was like, let me first watch some highlights of Karen and also watch the highlights of his fight so I can properly say his last name. I'm going to tell you this. It was very hard for me to find any highlights on his brother. It was secondly very hard for me to find any highlights where there was actual announcers saying his name. So as soon as I pulled up some and I saw the level of competition Ennis is going to be facing, I'm gonna keep that to myself as of now. Let me just try and be as 110% as possible. Boots should have a walkthrough victory against my guy Karen here. So no disrespect to you, Karen. I was trying to find out how to properly say your name. You know what I'm saying? I was doing my due diligence. I was doing my research. I just couldn't find it. I couldn't find someone who said your name in a video and your highlights where I can properly pronounce it here. So we're keeping it to the first name basis for you, my guy. But that's who Jaron Boots Ennis is going to be fighting. He's a co-main event, co-feature for the Davis Garcia pay-per-view coming up on January 7th. There is also another major announcement for a fight that's happening on that same card, which I'm going to get into in another video. But like I said, man, is this something that we should be excited about? Is this something that we should be looking forward to? We all know that Jaron Boots Ennis is the future of the 147 division. That is very clear. That's very evident. As of now, he's finally being talked about in the likes of like the Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence's of the world, Virgil Ortiz's of the world. All these different guys. Actually, Ortiz has a fight that just got announced as well, or was ordered, which I'm going to be talking about with you guys on another video. But it seems like Boots is getting closer and closer to that big 147 bout that we're looking for him to have to really see how good or great he is. Will it be against a guy like Earl Spence? Probably not. A guy like Terrence Crawford? Probably not. Not that upper echelon Keith Thurman? Probably not. But I do see it happening in the form of, and from what I'm seeing, my little research, Ennis was supposed to fight Stanionis, which obviously you guys know WBA just ordered a particular fight between Stanionis and another man named Ortiz, which I'll be dropping a video about. But apparently Jaron Ennis was supposed to be fighting Stanionis for this particular card. And for some reason, that fight fell through. It didn't happen. Or maybe, there was a little, a little fairy in the ear of Stanionis' team saying, hey, yo, just wait for this WBA to be ordered. And then we can move that direction. We get the Boots. Either way, I'm not the type of person to look at any type of fighter ducking. I've been saying this for the longest, as long as I've had this page, as long as I've had this channel. I've always told you guys I do not believe in the word ducking when it comes to fighters, because at the end of the day, if a fighter has a promoter, the promoter is the one doing the negotiation with them. They're the one in the contract, the ones that things through. So at the all be all, I know people try to just the fighters say, it's really the team say. All right, let's just be 100 with you. You know what I'm saying? Let's not act like that's not the case. But of course, to this day, that's how most people want to act. That's how most people want to say it is. That's how most people want to say it. That's how the business of boxing goes. So who am I to argue with y'all, especially when I be giving y'all the facts this long, and nobody wants to listen. So it is what it is. But how do I feel about Boots Ennis versus Karen happening for the co-feature for Davis Garcia pay-per-view? I'm not 100% excited about it. It's not something that I'm going to be interested in watching. It's not like I'm going to expect Boots to struggle. And this is going off of my little research I did on my brother Karen. He does not look like he should even, I'm going to be respectful. He does not look like he's going to give Boots a hard problem. It doesn't look like it's going to be a tough fight for Boots Ennis, unless Boots Ennis somehow has a bad training camp. Maybe he's coming off an injury, or just something out of the unknown, out of the unordinary happens in Boots and Ennis's camps, which obviously, hold on, let me make sure y'all hear this. Hopefully y'all heard that. Knock on wood. If everything goes well with the Boots camp, it should not be a hard fight against Karen. If y'all don't believe me, if y'all think I'm just hating, if y'all think I'm just talking shit, y'all just go ahead, check out them highlights, man. Y'all see the same highlights that I saw. You know what I'm saying? But I do like that Boots was added to this card, as well as another high-profile name in boxing community. So this is actually going to turn out being a pretty good card to watch. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be super competitive, but we're going to see basically three big-name fighters, or at least if you're a boxing hardcore fan, pretty big-name fighters when it comes to Boots, when it comes to Gervonta, and obviously the other fighter that's been added that I'll talk about in another video, which makes me a lot more excited for this particular, fight between Davis and Garcia, and as well as the card than I was originally. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really looking forward to this card that much. I wasn't really looking forward to this fight that much, because I just thought it was just like a warm-up fight. Obviously, it is. They made it known it's a warm-up fight, a gear-up fight for Gervonta Davis in January to fight Ryan Garcia. Obviously, Ryan Garcia is going to be having a fight as well in January. So it's like, when you know those type of facts, it's like, how excited and how much should I care about this? But when you're putting some pretty notable names on the undercard, or I should say the main card, it makes me a little bit more interested because we can see some good night of boxing, at least from some pretty high skill level fighters. And one of these guys are just so happened to be Jaron Ennis on the up and coming and on his way up on the 147 ladder. So I'm gonna give you guys just a little bit of details on this, and we're gonna go ahead and move on. I'm not gonna spend too long on this particular fight being announced. I just obviously want to let you guys know Jaron Ennis will. That's the biggest thing. I just want you to let you guys know. Anybody who's a Ennis fan, anybody who's a fan of the upcoming guys coming in the 147 division, Jaron Ennis will be the co-feature on this particular fight, and we can see him back January 7th. Hopefully, we can see him get a pretty big fight later on in the year. You know what I'm saying? Like he's talking about Stanionis. That's a great fight. Like I said, WBA just ordered Stanionis versus Virgil Ortiz. Maybe get the winner of that. So some options out there for Boots as long as no one's ducking them. But let's get into this particular article. Before I get into the details, make sure y'all hit the like button below, subscribe to the channel, show some love, notification gang. If you don't know about the Twitch, that's Fluence TV. We building, baby. I know I'm a little behind, but excuse me, rock with me, ride with me. You already know what it is. We improving every single goddamn day, every single week, every month. You already know. So Jaron Ennis will take a significant step toward in January 7th towards securing a legitimate welterweight title shot. BoxingScene.com has learned that the talented contender from Philadelphia will fight Ukraine's Karen that night for the IBF interim 147-pound championship. Their 12-round fight will be the co-feature of the Showtime pay-per-view telecast, which is headlining Gervonta Davis and Hector Luis Garcia in Washington, D.C. The Ennis Karen contest is expected to be officially announced Monday in Washington as part of a press conference to promote the Davis Garcia event, which happened today. That is something I do want to react to. Will I get to that? We'll see. As long as you guys know the information, that's my whole point of this channel is to get y'all the information. Ennis is ranked number 1 among the IBF's welterweight contenders for champion Errol Spence, who owns the WBA and WBC belts as well. Karen is ranked 4th by the IBF, 21-1, 11 KOs, but he's a leading available contender to face Ennis because the second spot in the IBF's ranking is unoccupied, and third-rated Virgil Ortiz Jr. is expected to face Stanionis next for the unbeaten Lithuanian's WBA World Welterweight title. I'll be talking about that. I'll be talking about that in another video. So if you guys want to know anything about that, I don't know what order I'm going to be dropping these, but just make sure you're paying attention and keep the notification on so you know when it's dropped. The 25-year-old Ennis is a heavy favorite to beat Karen. The emerging Ennis obviously would prefer to challenge Spence for his belts, but beating Karen for the IBF's interim title would give Ennis leverage in his pursuit to fight Spence. 30-year-old Spence is expected to face longtime rival Keith Thurman next. Thurman, the former WBA, WBC champ from Clearwater, Florida, was named the WBC's mandatory challenger for Spence at his annual convention last month. If that fight actually happens, I don't know. As of now, there hasn't been any like no one's really talking about it. Like, so a fight that could be as big as Thurman and Spence, for no one to be talking about it like overly excessively right now, it has me thinking that fight's probably not going to happen. But who knows? We're going to keep our fingers crossed for that one because that's definitely something I would love to see. And this is considered a high risk, low reward proposition for 32-year-old Spence, whose high profile fight with Terrence Crawford fell apart late in October. Ennis isn't affiliated with Al Haymon's PBC, which has made it more difficult for his handlers to secure fights against PBC-backed boxers like Spence and Thurman. I did not know that because Ennis fought a lot of his fights on the up and coming under Showtime and on PBC cards. As we see Gervonta Davis is fighting, he's on Gervonta Davis card. Obviously, some people would say Davis is not necessarily in the same realm or necessarily has his business dealings going alongside Al Haymon PBC, but we all know Showtime and PBC is kind of hand in hand to an extent. It's a little bit too much to try and go into detail if you guys don't understand what I'm saying. In his most recent action, Ennis knocked out previously unbeaten Canadian contender Castillo Clayton in the second round, May 14th at Dignity Health Sports Park. The 26-year-old Karen, Kiev native who resides in Germany, has won 20 straight bouts since he lost his second professional fight in April 2015. Karen hasn't been beaten a legitimate welterweight contender. However, since his 3-round split decision defeat to Andrei Viliovsky and Viliovsky's pro debut as part of the Super 8 junior middleweight tournament in Kiev. So that's the details of this particular fight. Like I said, just from what I saw, my little due diligence, watching, some quick highlights just so I can get Karen's last name on point for this video. As you can see, it was unsuccessful, but it was unsuccessful because the highlights that was presented in the evidence that was presented for me to conclude anything was not the greatest. So I do expect Jaron Ennis to have some pretty good success when it comes to this fight. This is the fight he should win. It's basically definitely put him more in the realm of being able to, challenge a guy like Errol Spence for his IBF title. But at the same time, I really do think the winner of this is probably going to face the winner of Stanionis versus Ortiz, which I'll be giving you guys the details on that as well. So make sure if you guys watch this video, man, show your boy some love, man. Hit the like button down below, subscribe to the channel. As always, notification gang, check out the Twitch, Fluence TV, man, on Orange Sports Nigga side of the game. I'll be back, but with more boxing. And of course, man, stay blessed, not stressed. Double salute. Much love to people. Keep supporting the channel, and we go.